What is freaking up? My name is Eve.
My name is Sarah.
And we are Burnt Out Perfectionist. Starting out the second episode of season 2 in 2024. We really like that evenness. Great. So as we do, I want to say every podcast. It's probably been the past 6. What is your... I have a peak and pit today. What is your survive and thrive?
Oh, I put peak and pit. I don't know why. Survive and thrive. My survive of the week is I randomly started losing my voice. On your birthday. And it was super weird because it was like halfway through because my kid played an intermission thing at like a higher league hockey game. And I went downstairs. I was totally fine. And then I came up and I turned to talk to my friend who was behind me. And I'm like, and like nothing was coming out. And then this very deep baritone voice came out. And she's like, dude, what is up with your voice? And I'm like, I don't know. No fever, no nothing. I guess I'm having a smelly cat moment.
Smelly cat.
I would blame the weather, but the weather was nicer last week than it was today, which it is a balmy minus 19 degrees Celsius right now.
Which, if you want that in Fahrenheit, it is about 68 degrees.
Yeah. So that's my pit or my survive. So there we go.
Actually, let me show. What is negative 20 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Oh my God. It's negative 4 in Fahrenheit.
It's so much less dramatic in Fahrenheit. In Celsius, it's like, bitch.
But like when they're like 120, it's like,
and they're like, oh my God, it's like 80 degrees outside. I'm like, holy shit.
Holy Spirit.
Right.
Holy Spirit. And what is your thrive moment of the week? Which we're actually recording on a Friday, so we could actually do a real.
Oh, right. My thrive moment of the week. I don't, this sounds like probably lame to other people, but like I dyed my hair and I actually really like it. It's very soft. I did like this like dark neutral brown. I only use semi-permanent dye, but I used like a semi-permanent neutral brown. I think it was like a 5N. And then I used this one, which I was picking colors. I used the Ion colors because I used the Brand Mondo stuff. It was amazing. Made my hair feel fucking great, but my hair just didn't hold the pigment from it, which other people, it stays in their hair forever. Mine, not so much. So on the bottom part of my hair, I picked a bluey purple, and it was called Tanzanite, and it looked bluey purple on the package, and it in fact came out kind of like a navy blue, which I'm totally down with.
I like it.
I think it's cool, and I like how it's only on the bottom half of my hair, which is great.
Yeah, Sarah didn't really tell us that she was dyeing her hair. They were low. And I went downstairs because my room's in the basement. And I was like, wow, that's weird. My straightener and my hairbrush are out. Oh, okay, whatever. Maybe she wanted to straighten her hair. I feel pretty. And then I come upstairs and I go to the bathroom and our bathtub's dyed blue. I was like,
it's like a hue. It's like a blue hue. It's not like really bad.
No.
It's been worse. I have done worse to that bathtub, let's be honest.
Oh, that's okay.
But yeah. So, Eve, what was your survive and thrive?
My surviving moment was trying to re-coordinate the microphones because I updated the computer. Well, I updated my computer that we use to record, and the like sync up of the microphones, because you have to create, like you have to go to like audio MDI, and then you have to create an agitate device. And then you have to find the specific one. So both of us use Yeti blue microphones. And so you can't rename the microphone. So all of them just say Yeti blue microphone. So I had to go through individually, try to balance it, try to figure it out. It was a pain in my fucking ass. You're completely honest. It was a pain in my ass. Yeah. So that was my surviving moment. It was the best hour. My thriving moment is... I only had to work 2 days this week.
Oh.
I'm off for 5.
Nice.
Which is lovely. So I haven't had 5 days of time off for, the people who are going to be like, 5 days off. I never have 5 days off. I never have done.
No, this is like a rarity. And also the mental capacity and exhaustion that it takes to do a physical exhaustion that it takes to do your actual position versus like maybe what other folks do is going to be severely different.
Yeah. I also worked Christmas and New Year's, so I was like, I just want a little bit of time.
Yeah, you worked all that. So that way everybody else could be like home and do whatever because we're not like obsessed and have a million plans when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh, no. So on this week's episode of Third Time Perfection,
I was like, did you forget where we were?
No, I was trying to read, and then when you were highlighting, it kind of went over, and I was like, so we wanted to talk about navigating consumerism because frequently on our social medias, which we'll get into, we see a lot of like dupes. You need this. It's a must-have.
The other things that I'm like being served through the algorithm is like the Sephora girls, like not people reviewing things from Sephora, like kids being in Sephora, Stanley's, and how there are 8 and 9-year-olds crying at the fact that they got a Stanley or actually crying because they got a Stanley dupe. And how people are bugging them at school after they came back from winter vacation because they don't have an actual Stanley Cup.
Which, like, on the pro side, at least there's good water.
That's the whole thing, which that whole drinking water thing is only a North American thing because our water is so heavily purified that, like, all the minerals and stuff are taken out of it. Because there's a bunch of people, when I worked at a job that I used to work at, they thought it was fucking hilarious, the obsession that North Americans have with consuming water. They're like, why are you guys thirsty all the time? Why is it an accessory? Why do you guys take it everywhere? And I was like, well, what are you talking about? You're supposed to drink so much water per day and everything like that. They're like, yeah, we're actually only told we're supposed to drink like 4 cups of water a day. And I was like, oh, we're told like 8 to 10 cups. They're like, that seems a bit excessive. Ridiculous to me. But the whole thing is because we don't have, I think they have a different like purification system or whatever. Especially in like Europe, where there's actually still like a lot of like the minerals and stuff in the water. So it actually less does more for you than what more does for us here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything's like balanced better. So it's, I think this may be like almost like honed into specific trends. We could be wrong though. Send us feedback if you know that there's like some crazy trends going on that maybe we don't know of or we don't speak of. Because this is kind of like a fun thing. It's just like observations that we see. We're not bitching and complaining about the stuff that we see, but we're just kind of like, oh, like, this is a common trend.
This kind of came about because of our love of the Josie and the Pussycats movie.
Every single time I see a fucking trend, especially the ones that like don't make sense to me, I immediately go back to this 2001 fucking movie.
Which, if you haven't watched Josie and the Pussycats, it is a girl band.
Yeah. That
basically was sucked into, I want to say it's kind of like the Capitol from the Hunger Games.
It almost is, because it's like, so it's originally based off of like the characters from the Archie comics, not like the Riverdale Josie that everybody was introduced to. This is like completely separate.
No, like she was in the Josie and the Pussycats, but the Riverdale
one is like
different.
It's like a totally different dimension or whatever.
And so it follows the 3 characters in a girl band, and basically they kind of get picked up or followed by a record label.
Yeah.
And their record label kind of tries to turn them against each other, but in the grand scheme of things, they're trying to manipulate the public through their music
by doing like they do underlining backtracks in their music. So it'll be like advertisements that you can't hear. So it's like, it's subliminal messaging is what it is.
So it'll be like the usual songs that you think of and then be like, you want a Big Mac? Do you want a Big Mac?
Yeah. So it'll be in the background and at one point they show them like with the soundboard. Obviously, if you think this is a spoiler, this movie came out in 2001. Like
literally the
23 years now. Yeah. I'm like, they turn down all like the audio things on the soundboard and they see this one that's going and they turn it up and it's like, you want a Big Mac. Orange is the new pink. Blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh my God, what? And then it's funny because my favorite is that one of them is actually like, she's a vegetarian or a vegan. And then she's just standing there one day after they listen to their song and she goes, I want a Big Mac. And they're like, Mel, I'm pretty sure they say a vegetarian. You're a vegetarian. And she's like, but I want to make back. And she's like, I want some musical kicks. Wait, where did that just come from? And it's a funny play. And there's so much product placement in this movie that it's like a movie to call out consumerism. And then there's a mass amount of product placement. It is so well done and hilarious that I keep trying to find it on streaming platforms and I haven't been able to find it again.
I haven't looked for it, but I had but I find it really interesting too because it does the usual so I took creative writing class in school where they taught us the breakdown of movies on the certain road path of writing.
Yeah.
And it has the usual friend group breaks up, friend group is frustrated and stuff like that. But it's they kind of take Josie under the it thing. Yeah. If you think of the it girls or the it guys right now and the obsession that people have with them, yeah, and then the consumerism that follows with it. So it's oh my God, Josie used black eyeliner, so I use black eyeliner.
Josie was essentially your Hailey Bieber. Not your Hailey Bieber, but you know how a lot of people are I want the clean girl aesthetic. I'm going to get the stick hair thing to put my hair flat like Hailey Bieber. I'm going to use the specific skincare. Yeah, or Sophia Richie. There's those people are probably oh my God, I want to emulate their style. That type of thing. And you're that's basically, they turned Josie into it, and they used to be just called the Pussycats. And then when they signed on with their label, they called them Josie and the Pussycats, so that way they had one standout person to change the dynamic and stuff like that. But yeah, it's an awesome movie. If you can find it and you're in Canada on a streaming service, can you let me know where it is? Because I really want to watch it. I had it on VHS. So
I watched it, and sometimes it's on cable.
Oh, yeah, but I don't have cable.
I know you.
I could probably, but I wonder if it's on Apple TV. Except I find sometimes the older movies are $25.
So it's on Amazon Prime.
I went on Amazon Prime. It wasn't on there.
I click it right now and it pops up.
I'm gonna be because somebody was listening to me when I said, "Are you kidding me? It's not fucking on there." Fuck off. Oh my God. Also.
You have to buy it. You have to rent it for $4.99, but still.
No, I wanted it included in my streaming service, but I will rent it or buy it or whatever. The other thing was that it has the best fucking soundtrack ever. The songs are so catchy for a fake girl band and the fake boy band that is in it. It has gems such as Breckenmeyer, Seth Green. It is so funny.
It also has the chick who was in He's All That.
Oh, yeah.
Or She's All That? She's All That? Yeah, She's All That.
She's All That. She's Josie. Yeah. Rachel Lee Cook.
That's what her name is. She's also in Hallmark movies now.
Oh, she's in all of the Hallmark and all this movies.
But yeah, so based off of consumerism and those types of things, we kind of clarified what the movie is about. But I frequently send things to Sarah that I'm why do people feel like they need that?
Oh, there are some weird ass things that I've seen.
I'm trying to think of them. So
there's ones where you go, oh my God, that's such a good idea. And then you're wait a second. Those, I have a big thing with kitchen appliances. I don't want a ton of them. And if I want them small. And this sounds really anal retentive. I want them in a cohesive color. Only because that way when you put them in a cupboard, it looks less messy to me. But it's there are so many kitchen appliances that you can get out there. And I was super hesitant for a long time to get an air fryer. Because I was just it's just another thing. And then I realized what it would replace. And now I'm obsessed and cook everything in my air fryer. Mainly because I feel it makes things taste better. Especially when it has breakfast sausages. I always found them really fatty and greasy. And it just cooks it all out and actually cooks them properly.
I didn't want like the generic air fryer because I was like, I like to be able to see things so that they don't burn.
Oh yeah.
That was really random. So I got one at Home Depot.
Of all places.
It was like $80. I was like, I'm gonna buy this air fryer. And the only requirement that our mother had is that it had to fit a rotisserie chicken.
Which is still, to this day, the weirdest thing I've ever heard. She was like, it has to fit a rotisserie chicken. Eve, has there been a rotisserie chicken made?
Yes.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I made one then.
Oh, nice.
So the main reason why I got this one is because it has a toaster, an air fryer, a convection oven, a bake. You can dehydrate things in it. There's so many options on it. And I was like, okay, you can also adjust the temperature and everything like that. But that's the reason why I got it. In the summertime, I use that air fryer more than I use the oven.
I think that's a big thing because you can use it without like heating up your home so much. I also have a really old stove and my stove heats up my whole house.
Yeah. So that's the main reason I got them. But leading into the water cups.
Oh, I was going to say, before we go into the water cups, because I feel the water cups and the Sephora stuff is going to be like a whole thing on its own. The number one thing that kind of stands out for like being obsessed with stuff other than like makeup products is the Ninja Creamy.
So
you're like, I'm getting one delivered. Just kidding.
I can understand it as a good option for people who can't have dairy.
Which is like me. So that was the big thing is when I saw the Ninja Creamy originally and I saw it in the store and I tell no shits of a lie that it was fucking $75 when I saw it. And I was like, actually, that's not that bad of an idea because I've used the, I got a Cuisinart one from my friend's mom for my wedding. And it worked great to make regular ice cream, but I really wanted something where I could make like non-dairy ice cream. And I tried to make it and it stuck to the sides and it became more like icy than anything else. So as per that, the Ninja Creamy, I was like, oh, that would be cool for something like me. I saw it and as per usual, forgot about it. And then it started blowing up on the internet.
Now it's like $200.
Right? It's like ridiculously expensive. I understand there's like, I think there's been 5 iterations since it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's all these extra ones and everything. But I know that like a lot of people, but all the content that I was being served for it was people making protein ice cream, which sounds great. But like, where's the people making the vegan protein? Anybody who I saw was making a non-dairy option was just sticking fruit in the cup and freezing it, which sounds great altogether. But sometimes I want an alternative because fucking non-dairy ice cream is expensive as shit. So like if it's not on sale, it's like $6 to like $12.
So like I can understand that. I can also enjoy ice cream here and there. What was making me laugh is when people would like it was like making my Ninja Creamies for the week and they were making like 10 or 12.
Yeah, the people who were buying like the extra accessories and stuff, I was like, what the hell? Also, like, why are you so prepared?
Well,
and how can you eat the whole thing? It takes me 2 weeks to go through a Ben & Jerry's non-dairy.
But then you have to respin it like every time.
That was my whole thing too, is you have to respin it. And then a lot of people are like, oh, if you take it out and let it sit for 45 minutes, then you don't actually have to put more stuff in it.
So I have to wait 24 hours and then wait an extra 45 minutes. I'm just like to take it out when I'm like, I want ice cream.
When I can just take a non-dairy alternative ice cream out, have like 2 or 3 scoops like I usually have. I'm not like a massive sweets person, but sometimes I just want ice cream.
Yeah. I can also see it for like allergies, but I don't know. I can't justify the price. It's like the same thing to me as in Dyson's.
Oh, you didn't mean like their hair accessories or just the vacuums in general?
Like the hair.
Oh, I don't understand.
$100
to blow dry your fucking hair.
And people are like, oh, well, I get the most beautiful blowout. There's these things called rollers.
Also, rollers work, but blow dry hairbrushes are not a new thing.
No.
At all. Like, people have had those for years. And the fact that they're acting like they're reinventing the wheel just kind of like blows my mind. And for the longest time, so this is the same as we're switching from paper bags at grocery stores in the 90s to plastic bags to save the trees. They told everybody that using those blow dry hair tools and not using a direct hair tool would cause more heat damage to your hair.
Exactly.
So I'm just watching this shit go around again. I'm like, I'm this old.
Okay, and then do you remember when it was like, you should only use hair tools that you can see the exact temperature that it's getting to?
Yes.
Everything only has the 3 options. So what's the temperature option?
I know, that's what I always wonder too. And everyone's like, well, you can trust them because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I mean, there's even like the Shark Flex Styler, which is a lower cost. Shark is always like a lower cost version of most of the time originally what like Dyson came out with. It's still a higher cost item, but it usually has more longevity. But again, you're paying $300 for the same thing.
Which then also will lead me to Air Maxes.
Oh my God, why the fuck are they so expensive? Actually, I saw Ashley mention that the other day on a TikTok. She's like, I had no idea how much these things were. She goes, I went to get a pair of them and I did not realize how expensive those headphones were because she usually buys the Bose ones and she thought those were expensive at $350.
So I recently got overhead headphones, but I can't use advertised headphones because my head is so large that it doesn't fit. So I got this pair of headphones off of Amazon it was on sale for Boxing Day, and I got them for like $55.
On sale. Green. That's a great.
I was like, this is wonderful. Had them in my bag for a long time. They're like a nice greeny blue.
Yeah.
And take them out. They're great. They fit my head. I do not wear overhead headphones at the gym. I'll wear AirPods at the gym.
Or nothing, because we just talk the whole time.
Yeah. But why are you spending $600 on headphones? You can just get different cases on other headphones.
That's the other thing, though, is I got kind of confused by the idea of them because I know that Apple bought Beats.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why did they come out with a direct competitive product to another company that they already own? And I own Beats headphones. I got them on sale. This is when, like, Beats headphones were, like, $200-$300. And I got some ridiculous Boxing Day sale on, like, Walmart, and they were, like, $100. And they're great, but I have a smaller head. Like, when my hair was shorter and I had a pixie cut, I could wear children's hats. I probably sound really disproportionate from the other things that I've described the way I look, but, like, if I don't have a lot of hair, it's okay. But now that I do have, like, hair that goes past my shoulders or whatever, it's so, like, I feel like they're squishing my brain if I use them for too long. And I understand that, like, Air Maxes give, like, fancy office chair to me. Like, with, like, the bouncy thing on the top. And then people are buying accessories to cover them because they're getting them all dirty. Like silicone covers. And I'm like, you're buying accessories for over $800 AirPods.
Yes, to make them a different color. But you bought them because they were a color.
Because you bought them because they were a color or because you want to keep them clean? And I'm like, shouldn't they already come with fucking covers that you can take off?
Also, why are headphones getting so dirty? What are you doing that your headphones are so dirty?
I don't know. Like, rubbing your face all over them? Like,
but, like, I feel like there's certain things that people now are like, oh, okay, I have this one thing for one specific purpose.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll watch, like, Amazon must-haves because it pops up on my TikTok all the time.
Oh my God, I think it's like one of their number one things that they have.
And it'll be like, oh, do you need your, like, you need this phone case. You need this. You need this. You need this. You need this. Why?
Oh, my favorite is, like, constantly being served the ones where they tell you that your thing to hold your phone on the back is, like, out of style. Like, oh, you have a pop socket. We actually use rings now, or we use these bracelet things, or all this other stuff to, like, hold our phones. And I'm like, I'm just going to continue to use my pop socket. I feel like I upgraded my pop socket because I got the magnetic one that clicks on with the wireless charging thing so you can take it on and off. And I like that because that way if I want to put it in my pocket and not have anything else, then it works. But I know there's so many like random things, like the Amazon things. My personal favorite is I was getting Amazon and Temu hauls the whole time. I was getting all these different people doing it. And then it suddenly became like an integrity or like a look down upon you thing if you bought stuff on Temu instead of Amazon.
But I also feel like I haven't done a lot of research in like the background of it, but I also see people doing side hustles where they drop ship things from like Alibaba, Temu to Amazon.
Okay, so that's the whole thing is like fun fact, and you can do this to either site. You can go on Temu and pull up a product that you're like, I'm super interested in that. Copy paste that full like title description thing and put it into Amazon and you'll get the same product. I've done it from Temu to Amazon and Amazon to Temu. And that's the whole thing is Temu is just, it originated in China and it is basically like what Amazon was before it was Amazon. So what I think is really funny is when people are like, oh, I buy my stuff from Amazon because I want to support people. And I'm like, but Temu uses the exact same distributors as Amazon. It has sellers just like Amazon. Like, to me, I don't honestly see a difference because I have ordered stuff and it has come and been the exact same fucking product. Same quality, same packaging. Like,
which then I also question because there'll be people like I was just online shopping as you do. And I was like, oh, I really want a nice, like, oversized sweater.
Yeah.
And I went on a couple websites and they were like $120, $80 for a sweater.
Yeah.
So I was like, why?
Oh, yeah. Like, I love like the brunette, the label sweaters. They do feel different. They are soft on the outside. They wash really well and they do have longevity. But I only buy them when they're on sale because if I don't, they're $85 to $120.
Which I then, like, I want to know the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'd be able to justify that price if they were like, okay, so our distributors give, we pay like $50 for the sweaters.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much they cost to them. But we charge an extra $70, $80 because this is the price breakdown of it. Because if I can get a sweater that's super comfortable from, say, Old Navy, that's like $30, $40 that I can wear for a long time, I'd rather do that than, oh, okay, this sweater's nice. And also I feel like it's like, I could do it.
Well, and that's the whole thing too. Like, so one thing that I noticed with like Temu is here, I will open up a cart that I have. Because with Amazon or Temu, I'll just have like a running cart. It's not like the mystery cart that I never go back to. It's like when I think of things and then I'll go back. And so things like a silent, like a visual timer. So this is one that when you turn the dial, it'll make it a specific color and it allows kids to see like the time go down. Like say if you're wanting to use that for your kid when they're doing homework. If I go on there, a visual timer is $10.84 right now. Of course, it's just like Amazon, all the prices change. But the average price that I've seen on Amazon is $25 to $30 for one of these. It's literally the exact same picture. Because you know when you do like the reverse Google image search, I can literally pull it up on all the sites. My personal favorite is those like wash your face wristband ones. So again, just to let everybody know, we're talking about like Amazon Canada because that's the one that we have preview to. We don't get the American one. I can get a set of those like face washing wristband things, which are not essential, but they would be fun to have. They're $1.50 on Temu. I went on Amazon and it was like, oh, you can get a pack of one and it's $5. So to me, that's a $4 difference. Why the hell am I not going to buy the other one? You know what I mean? Like there's all these little things. Oh, the other thing is those 4 quadrant containers that you can get. It's so you can like make your own, people called it make your own Lunchables, but like you can just put all your food in them. I looked at getting one on Amazon and it was like $10, $15. I can get one on Temu and it's $5. What's the What's the difference? Like,
and it's not even the amounts, because like, say you want to try something to see if it works for you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you, if it was available at the dollar store, would you rather pay for it at the dollar store or buy the expensive one at a big outlet?
Oh my God, I'll give the perfect example of the most random kitchen gadget that I wanted that works amazing, that I would have originally bought it off of the infomercial that I saw it on. So it is this like paddle, basically, it's not like a spatula,
It's
but
a meat smasher.
it's a meat smasher. I don't know if you know what that is. So it's like a long stick. It's similar to like spatulas and stuff like that, except it has almost like a sun pattern. So that way when you push it down, it breaks up the meat, your ground products and stuff like that. So it's not in like a lot of like large chunks. It kind of makes it spread a little bit wider. It's great. And I originally wanted one. Everywhere I looked, these fucking things were like $15 to $20. And I was like, I think it's a great idea, but I refuse. Lo and behold, I come to Eve's house and she's making we were making a white people taco night, and it was ground beef, and she whips this fucking thing out. I was like, bitch, I cannot believe you paid that much for that. She's like, what are you talking about? I got this at the dollar store. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I'll just grab you one the next time I'm there. I've had that thing for 2 years now? I love it. It's amazing. And it's solid. Not flimsy. It is solid and works great. And the funny thing is I bought one of those like cute aesthetic sets of all like matching kitchen utensils, like the big ones, like your spatulas, your tongs, everything like that. The only ones that are good are the ones that are fully covered in silicone. Everything else has like a hollow metal handle. And if I put it inside my dishwasher, it like fills with water. Meanwhile, all the ones I've bought at the dollar store that were cheaper and even add up to be cheaper, last longer, don't break, and don't fill up with water.
Why?
Like, that's the whole thing is I'm like, I feel like, I don't know if it's all about the perspective.
Yeah, so it's also like the level of the amount. So I find too that when I'm watching, like, I always go back to Amazon must-have because I do get suckered in to watch them. But they'll be like, oh, well, I found, like, it's like they're trying to find dupes, but like not dupes. So it's like, oh, this container is like a dupe for other things. And it's like, oh, okay, that's great. But then as soon as people hear about it, it's like, oh, okay, now it's $30. Maybe I want to try it out and see if I like it. Like, a lot of products that people boast about, I can't use because of my allergies. So, like skincare, hair care, and stuff like that. And Sarah's even kind of had issues with it where it's like, oh, okay, this is like the best hair care on the face of the planet. If you're unaware of oh wow, my brain's already farting. I apologize, editing Sarah. But so people are finding dupes. Dupes are great. I also use dupes for things because I can't justify the price of some of these other products, but I want to try them. There's difference between a dupe that's more affordable and a dupe that's like $2 cheaper. Like, lip gloss was not changed in a day. It happens all the time. There's always been lip gloss. If you have a favorite lip gloss, great. If you have a favorite hand cream, great. I've had peeling, cracking hands pretty much my entire life when I hit spring. And if I could find a hand cream that doesn't cause that, great. But I also can't have one that's fragrant. I can't have one that has a lot of other ingredients, which a lot of people who are like, oh, I really like this. But then, like, the next week, they're like, oh my God, I found the best one. I'm not saying that you can't upgrade the products that you have, but also it's like, oh, okay, well, this sounds great. Or like the brand deals. Oh my God, I got this. This is the best hand cream I've ever had in my entire life. And then like the next week, they're like, oh, well, my hands have a reaction on them because it was a hand cream that I tried. So it's just like so much information at you. And I'd like to say I wish that 2024 will be the year that people just sit back and they look for products that work for them. I am a pale, Caucasian, European descent person. I am 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". I have bigger feet. I have a lot of hair. I have naturally thick eyebrows. I have naturally long eyelashes. And some of the products that work for like my friend who's a ginger who can only use very certain colors of things because obviously they don't make a lot of ginger products. But also, like, her sister who's blonde, she can't use the same products that she does because she's a redhead. But then my friends at work, they all have different hair types. They have all different skin types and stuff like that. So if I say, like, oh my God, I need this product, that's not because, like, I like this product, but this product's not going to work for you. A lot of the hair care, like, that I've used in the past has worked for me, but hasn't worked for Sarah. And I'm like, that's okay. It just doesn't work for me. And it could be, like, itchy scalp or stuff like that. And, like, that's okay. I feel like we need to take away that not every single product works for people, and that is okay. And you don't have to have a product just because somebody you look up as a role model really enjoys. And on that note, I'm going to take a little bit of time to promote our own small business. If you aren't aware, Sarah and I own a business called Indelible. It's a apparel / we're going to start expanding into other products. And if you would like to purchase, our Valentine's Day collection will be coming out January 15th, which is the day that this is posted. I think Sarah will probably edit this one first. And we're going to kind of play into, like, Valentine's Day, but also, like, self-care and designing, like, sweaters and stuff like that we really like, that we purchase. Like, I wear mine all the time, as well as, like, we have phone cases. I use the phone cases all the time. I've never had an issue with my phone breaking or anything like that, and I feel like I can finally, like, have phone cases that I really like, that suit kind of my niche that I like. It doesn't mean that if you have any ideas of any, like, things that you really would like that you think that it's not on the market yet, like, please reach out. We're always open to trying to open our community to as many groups as possible, and, like, making designs that make everybody feel like they can wear them. They can have their, like, phones with, like, fun designs and stuff. We don't sell specifically male or female like, clothing. Everything is in unisex sizes, which falls into more of the male sizes, but just because we don't wear, like, crop tops and stuff like that, we don't wear super tight clothing. We've always worn oversized clothing, so we wanted to make sure that if your friend who is a female wants to wear it, who is a male, who doesn't identify as anything, can still all wear the same clothing with the same size range that's not defined exactly by, like, this is for boys and this is for girls, because I wear men's clothes, I wear female clothes all the time. And please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We have just reached 700 downloads, which is super cool. Haven't done that before. I'm going to accidentally hit the box there, and I do apologize. But our goal this year is 1,000. If we get to 1,000, great. If we don't get to 1,000, that is totally okay. And let us know down below what your kind of consumerism paradigm is, and what your feelings on it, if you've seen it, if you have any ways that you've figured out that can help with eliminating consumerism, not eliminating it, but kind of limiting how much you have. Please let us know, because we're always open to it. It's quite an important topic that Sarah and I are looking into more as we've, like, gotten older, because obviously, like, when you're younger, like, there's so many different things that you're like, oh, okay, I want this toy, I want this toy, I want this toy. And it's, like, so important because everybody else has it. So, like, I need to have it. My brain is blinking so much. But I also, like, not just, like, specifically product based, I also feel like the whole idea of entertainment has that kind of consumerism aspect. And by consumerism, I don't mean, like, purchasing. I mean, like, absorbing it. Like, a lot of people that I see that are like, oh, have you watched this movie? Have you watched this? I'm like, no, that's not something that I feel like I'll be interested in. And they're like, well, how can you be interested in it? And it's like, almost you can't be a part of the cool club if you don't know what shows are on. And sometimes I don't have time to watch shows, but I'm like, oh, okay. Or, like, same things with like artists. Like I listen to a lot of musicians that don't have a lot of following just because I kind of like them. I kind of like seeing them grow, and then sometimes I just kind of fall off of them once they get bigger, which I know sounds like, oh, well, like back in the day I used to listen to them, but I think it's really cool to watch them almost like a proud parent. But on the flip side, I see like so many people with an obsession for specific artists, for specific actors. And it's like, oh, well, they wore this, so I need to have it. Or it kind of becomes like a standard image, which I find it kind of honestly hypocritical because I remember like 5 years ago, they're like, oh yeah, be your own you. And then it's like, oh, okay, be your own you. But this person's part of your specific niche. And if you don't look exactly like them, then you're wrong. And for me personally, I do not fall into the standard version of, I'm not a girly girl, anything like that. So when I'm being kind of fed products that are a lot more makeup based, I don't really wear makeup, so I can easily skip through them. If I'm being fed things about anime, not a super big fan about anime, so I can through. But for people who are not, who are part of those niches, who see it all the time, and they're like, well, like if I want my life to work better, I need these products. You don't need these products. Look at your products from another perspective. Look at what you have currently. I find that if something's not working, figure out what's wrong with it and find a product or find something that works for you. Not every product works for you. That's okay. But you don't need a bunch of things just to be happy. Money does not bring happiness. Money can assist with it. And yeah, that's great. But money doesn't make you happy. It doesn't cause like this, you buy something, you get that little bit of dopamine, or like, I want this sweater because it's from a specific brand that like everybody wears. I'm going to be liked more if I wear this brand. I used to have a perspective of like, oh, okay, well, do I need to dress this way? And then I turned 13 and I was like, I only want to wear sweaters and sweatpants because I feel more comfortable with being myself in sweaters and sweatpants. But that also doesn't mean that I need to own the most expensive sweater and sweatpants on the face of the planet. Trying to think of other things to talk about. Sarah's gonna have a hoot editing this because I'm just going on rants.
Hey everybody, this is Sarah from Burnt Out Perfectionist. We ended up going for a full hour and 40 minutes. So we broke this into 2 different episodes. So the episode that you're listening to today has obviously already aired at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The next part, which is part 2, will air next Monday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please give a listen. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and stay as warped and twisted as ever. Peace.